Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Carl Tiley, joined in a flash new studio here in Wellington by Paul Malwate. Paul, I feel quite professional at the moment.
How good is this? This studio, it's flash from what we've had.
Maybe talking to your mic.
Oh, well, did you not pick that up? The studio is so flash, it can pick me up from, I'm talking over here, talking over there. It doesn't really matter. But as you say, we're in the big smoke now, Wellington City.
Yeah, we've got 4 lights that are like incredibly blinding, but they do make us look good.
I know what it feels like to be a supermodel now.
Speaking of supermodels,
Whoa.
Nick Tedeschi, welcome in.
Boy, oh boy, the Advantage Line has come a long way. I remember the first episode recording, Paul didn't want to be on the show. It was recorded in what was nothing short of a basement studio. I think we were on top of each other. I recall a whole heap of books with just horse racing winners, 1963, 1964. So you brought the show into the modern era, Carl. So well done to you.
Yeah, look, it's a passion of mine, making other people look good. Straight into it, fellas.
Oh.
Divided opinion.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I'm not sure if it's going to be divided or not. Not a lot of these are, but Nico Hines is no good in the big moment. He's been dropped from Origin, didn't perform in Origin, and missed the kick to take a game on the weekend to Golden Point. Nick Tedeschi, what are your thoughts on Nico Hines?
I think it's very, very harsh on Nico Hines. Now, look, I am not opposed to him being dropped for game 2, based on, I think he's a very sensitive person, and I think his confidence takes a knock very quickly. But I think he's performed in plenty of big games before. He's won a Dally M. He's possibly won another Dally M. I think he's a very good player, and I think the hand he has been dealt in Origin has been nothing short of disgraceful. How Brad Fittler knocked his confidence last year by throwing one at centre and dropping him. Then, look, New South Wales had 12 men for 73 minutes. There's not a lot you can do with 12 men. You're not getting a lot of ball. You're not getting much to go for. I thought New South Wales held on pretty well over that period of time. So I think it's very harsh, and I just don't understand. Maybe extrapolating this divide opinion out a little bit too much here. I don't know why we're not moving to Nico Hines at Burton. Why Hines was a sacrificial lamb rather than Miller? Because Hines has a game much more suited to Origin than Jerome Law ever will have.
Yours, please, Paul Malwate.
I'm sort of thinking very similar to Teddy there. It's very hard to judge, I guess, the performance of a half when your team is playing basically with 12 men for almost the entire game, very close to the whole 80 minutes. And then you don't have a back on the bench, or you sort of have a back on the bench, but you don't actually bring him on when a back gets sent off. It's very, very hard for a half to shine. And plus the fact that you had just a whole lot of workhorses with not a lot, which probably helped them in the end a wee bit because they had a whole lot of work to do with only 12 men on the field. But he just didn't get a fair shake of the sav there, unfortunately. And I feel like he does seem like he's more towards the introvert as opposed to the extrovert sort of type of person. And these things can sort of, I guess, build up. So he's definitely been hard done by. He hasn't been given the best possible environment for him to actually shine. It's strange because you look at the Queensland team, they throw players in there, and they're almost always given every opportunity to show just how good they are. And so I think it's really, really hard on the young fella, Nico. I hope he does get back in at some stage. But I think it's probably best that he's out of that at the moment, just so he's away from the spotlight.
What about the missed kick in the Dolphins game on Thursday night? He's a 92% accuracy goal kicker.
Yeah, well, the kicks don't get any harder than that from the sideline. But Jonathan Thurston missed one in the grand final. It's when as well. No one's calling him unable to shine in the big moment. So, I don't know about that. Like, it wasn't the greatest strike of all time, but I don't think you can really expect those to go over, can you? Like he would be probably what, a 65% chance from there, 70% chance from there. Like, yeah, he probably should have kicked it, but it's not like a throw over for mine. So, yeah, I've seen Andrew John just kicks from there in the past. I've seen Jonathan, all these great clutch players. I think it's very harsh on Hines to put it down to one kick.
I do remember a Daryl Halligan kicking 2 from the sideline in a
Preliminary final
against Parramatta. In fact, one of your favourite players took part in that game, I think. Oh, no, maybe not.
Who would that be?
Mr. Carragay.
Oh, yeah, that is the Paul Carriage game. The Paul Carriage game,
yeah.
Yeah, 2 from the sideline. Don't worry, 1 on 4 time. Well, most kickers can't. I don't remember Darren Halligan ever missing one. So
yeah, he's an exception.
One of the greats. They're great. All right, cool. Good discussion to start the show. Paul, can we have a look at the betting from last week, please?
I should probably bring it up on my screen then.
I don't think I was very good.
I think I kept it pretty simple. I think I had a winner and a loser. So
while he brings that up, what about tipping comp? I was in all sorts early doors, and I've managed to get back to 4 out of 8.
Yeah, I think I missed the first 3 and might have nabbed the last 5.
Nice.
Remember? I think I'm up to 25th or something like that, which is 25th in the TRB. So, yeah, I've dark days early from a tipping point of view. The punting point of view wasn't too bad. I was on the Dolphins plus. So, interesting strategy with tipping though. Like, what do you do when you're like a big outsider? Like, what's your line where you don't pick them in a tipping comp? Like, 8.5 point dog. I'm just like, well, I like the Dolphins. I'll back the Dolphins straight out. But it's like I can't possibly tip them. Come on.
Yeah, I think there's a sweet spot, because if you're with Super Bro, if you're within X number of points, either side of the margin, you get an extra half a bonus point or something. So,
righty-ho.
I still haven't figured out how this tipping competition actually scored. So thanks for informing me of that.
Anyway, punting, Paul.
Punting. No tips from Surly, as far as I can remember.
Surly, if you're listening, and I know you are, get your together, please.
Righty-ho. Blake had a couple of multis. He had the Sharks, Panthers, Manly. Fell over at the first hurdle, unfortunately. Then he had it must have been the same game multi. Johnston to score a try, and the Bunnies to win by 1-12.
They got up.
He got a win. Yeah. Yep, he got a small profit. He's down 527 for the season.
Small profit, but right in there.
Carl, you had a couple of bets. You had $75 on the Wars 1-12.
That's tough.
And then you had a little multi. Bunnies, Roosters, Manly, all head to head. That was a win. And you are 955.11 up for the season.
Unstoppable.
Was I up for the week?
Yep.
What did the multi collect?
A hundy.
Hey, there we go.
And Teddy, you had three bets, sorry. Tigers plus 2.5, 50 on. Nice. Dragons plus 7.5. No. And then you doubled them up together. So you are $232.80 to the good for the season. I was very unlucky. I had the Tigers head-to-head into the Wars head-to-head. Probably should have cashed out at the 20-minute mark of the Wars Storm game. That was no good. And then I went for the Sunday try bingo, numbers 1 to 7. We just needed one more centre to score for that, fortunately. Yes, so no good for me. I'm down 287.36 for the season.
To all the NRL coaches out there listening, can we please get a play where a prop scores a try? 2 weeks in a row, bingo has been let down by the props.
It was the 8 or 10.
I'll give you the tip. Whenever it gets let down, it's going to be let down by props.
Yeah. Oh, tough. It's a tough watch, but it's fun watch.
I forgot to put bingo on. I was out and about with former host Matt Fisk, and got otherwise occupied and forgot to put on. So I was death riding the bingo this week. So no prop tries on Sunday. I hate to think it would win without me.
That's a great segue because I've got 3 games I want to talk about this week to review: Dolphins, Bunnies, and the Wires. We'll start with the Wires because I'm putting this blame on you, Teddy.
Whoa!
I've got receipts. I've got text messages. I got a text. This, for all the punters out there, I got a text from Teddy. Warriors up 14-0. And it went along the lines of they win by 50 here.
Oh, he did it on
and he's done it on purpose.
He did.
For personal gain because I know he's all over the Storm. Teddy, I don't like that.
That's
Warriors fans might have just overtaken the New Zealand tax department as the people in New Zealand who dislike me the most. But but I'll tell you what, I have no qualms. That last try on the Storm 13 plus and the 61 plus points, and when Farlongo got over, I was up and dancing. Well, like it was, what a turnaround! Like your 1 to 12 was never in contention, Carl. You were either going to win 13 plus and go away with it, or the Storm were going to win. That 1 to 12 lasted about 8 seconds.
Oh,
What a collapse!
What a start for starters! Like
great start.
The Warriors just blew the Storm off the park. I think there was some sort of stat that the Storm
86% for 14% of the 20-minute mark.
That's wild, isn't it? Absolutely.
I've never seen anything like it. Like the only other time I can remember something like it, I don't know if it lasted 20 minutes, was when the Storm led the Tigers like 28-0 after 10 minutes. And I don't think the Tigers had touched the ball. But by the time I got to the 20-minute mark, it may have got a bit close to that. 86%. The tackling was nuts.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start. Like Pompey scores in the 4th minute, Montoya in the 15th. We get a penalty in the 8th and 9th minute. We're up 14-0. All of a sudden, Storm gets some ball back. They're on attack, put up a bomb. Pompey takes an incredible catch. Out jumps Ali Katoa, thinking, oh yeah, cool. And then all of a sudden, try time, Ali Katoa rips it off Pompey, and that's switched the momentum immediately.
Totally. What a steal there. What a talent Ali Katoa is. Like, I still don't think we've kind of realised anywhere near his potential.
No, he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah, I agree. And would he have been at the Warriors? Maybe now Webster's come to coach, but kind of given when he left, it was the right thing to do. Playing under Bellamy's been great for him, and obviously having Hughes being able to kick for him as well is huge, because he's probably second only to Jeremiah Nanai for back rowers who can get up and catch a ball.
Yeah,
and obviously he didn't do it on that occasion, but to have the wherewithal to think of one-on-one steal at the time. Like, most people just go compete for the ball, trying to distract. That's playing chess when people are playing checkers.
Do you think, Paul, that like coming back home, playing in front of a crowd where you spent so much time, played in, because he had a massive game.
He did have a massive game. But he's been building towards this anyway. And I'm sure being back in Auckland, may have had something to do with the fact we saw him have just an all-time great game. It's just when you're up 14-0 and you've been totally outplayed, possession, it was so one-sided. And then the rain came, and I thought, well, this is brilliant, because it's going to be harder for Melbourne Storm to come back under these conditions. It was I don't want to say heartbreaking. It was just demoralising in the end. That was one, and they've had a few leads at home this season as well. I think the first game of the season against the Sharks, they
I've noticed we're back to they rather than
no, he's they. I'm still we. I'm just talk about demoralising. I'm just looking at the stats on NRL.com. If
that they outdid them in every facet apart from the scoreboard.
This is wild. Position was 54-46, pretty close. Completion rate, Warriors win that 8% to 76. All runs we win, run meters, post-contact meters, tackle breaks 45-26 in favour of the Warriors. Average set distance we win, kick return meters we win, faster play the ball, more offloads. Like,
you know what stat you didn't win though? Moronic wingers getting sent to the sin bin at the same time, possibly for the first time in. I'm ready to declare it the first time in NRL history 2 wingers on the same side have been sent to the sin bin at the same time. Like, that has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. What was Montoya doing? As a Canterbury fan who has endured both Montoya and DWZ and got none of the good stuff that you guys have got from either of them, this is the stuff I remember. So to say I was chuckling would be a major understatement. That wasn't why you lost the game. That was what finished you off.
Yes, yeah. Well, Mitch Barnett scores a try, the comeback's on, and then bang bang, off. 53rd minute, 60th minute. I can see what DWZ was going for the intercept, and he just chucked an arm out and collected a face.
There was no malice in it, but had to go. I don't think there's any argument over that one, but it's the Montoya one that should really grind the gears. That's just utter stupid. DWZ he was trying to do something. Was it the smart thing to do? Probably not. He did anyway. But he got beat with smarts. Like that little kick from Harry Grant when DWZ had been sent off just to put in for coach. Just those little things. I'm not sure if he said it on text at the time, but I certainly think he was up 14-0. He should be up by a lot more than that. Yes. Early on, it was, you just weren't finishing those things off. And that's what the Storm do time and time. That's what the Storm done for 20 years. When they get chances, they finish it off. And they were relentless. Down there, I don't know that they missed an opportunity.
Hmm.
You say 54-46 is close. It's not that close. 54-46 is a fair possession split, if you ask me. But yeah, they were just. I thought Johnson was poor.
They were clunky in the halves. Clunky in the halves.
Very clunky. Martin was. I know this is just a fit thing. Martin was so much better without Johnson. And obviously, you've got to put Johnson in the team. I'm certainly not advocating getting rid of Johnson, but you've got to work on kind of getting it together, because Ryan Martin, who I've generally thought is a pretty ordinary player, had been a superstar for a month. And then Johnson comes back, he just kind of goes back to being the beater dog. It's you know what? Maybe you need to have a couple of alphas in there and go and step up and do it, because he was playing second fiddle the whole time.
You say second fiddle. I thought he had a lot more touches and a lot more control, a lot more say in what was happening.
He took it to the line more than, well, not more than when SJ wasn't there, but he was taking it to the line more than what he was prior to SJ's injury. So I think they're still trying to work out the balance there between those two. And it might take another game or two, but
you're running out of time.
Well, this is true. I think the thing is, this is almost a handing over of the guard. I think they're just trying to give more responsibility to Tamari and sort of peg back on SJ slightly. And I think they're trying to make Tamari the alpha dog. And it's just because SJ is such a big sort of, it casts a huge shadow. It's a wee bit, it's just not going to happen overnight. But as Teddy says, they've got to sort it out, and they've got to sort it out very, very soon.
Well, here,
two things I want to ask you, Warriors fans, kind of based in around this game. Obviously, Mitch Barnett, an outstanding player. I had to enjoy this last time. The 18th man rule, not be able to play this week, absolutely criminal. And the other one is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as the 18th man last week. Surely if he's fit and healthy, why isn't he in the team? From a Warriors point, it seems perplexing to me. From a Warriors point of view, what do you guys use on that on those two situations?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't look at the team list in depth until kickoff, and when I saw Roger 18th man, I thought, what the hell? Why, if he's fit to be 18th man, why isn't he playing?
Yep,
that
totally.
was the first thought. Yeah, so I don't know who he would have come in for. Like we talked last week, how Pompey's been playing incredibly well. Maybe you get him in on the wing, but then Montoya's been playing well in the last few. I don't know.
Was it one of those things where he wasn't quite 100%, but at a pinch he could play? But
if he's why risk him if he gets activated and then he's not ready to play?
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah, I don't know. He's back in this week. And Barnett, yeah, that's a big loss. Him and Capewell, I thought we'll get Origin shortly, but his selection kind of came out of the blue for me.
Came out of the blue for everyone.
Yeah, so
not for Billy.
Two big losses for the Warriors. Having said that, I'm not sure we used Capewell all that well against the Storm. Spent a lot of time on the bench.
I don't think you've got a spot for Capewell at the moment, which is a positive for the Warriors in terms of you are just absolutely flush with talent that can play big minutes in the back row.
Mm.
And why are you taking Barnett or Niokore off for instead of Chris?
Niokore, we're spending a lot of time on the Warriors here, but Niokore had a hell of a game. Those lines he runs and the speed in which he runs those lines can be devastating.
You can see how much they them.
Yeah.
Capewell doesn't offer any of that.
Sorry?
Capewell doesn't offer any of that.
Yeah, no.
He's a workhorse. He'll tackle all day, Capewell. So if
he does offer the offload though.
If you've got Capewell, I don't think you bring him off the bench. You just tire it. You have him out there, just working until
you play 80 minutes of Capewell. You don't have him at all. I agree.
I don't think you do.
One thing I just want to touch on before we move on. We're talking about the halves before, and early doors in the season, it was all down the right hand side for the Warriors. The ball could not find the left hand side of the park. Try scorers on the weekend: Pompey, Montoya, Barnett, Montoya, all down the left.
Yeah. Maybe some balance would work well for the Warriors.
Maybe. I mean, the week before it was a bit of both. So, yeah. Anyway. That's the Waz. I love the Waz. Could talk all day about the Waz. Other games I want to quickly touch on. Dolphins and the Sharks. Absolute barn burner on Thursday night. Dolphins got out to a massive lead. Sharks came back, had a chance to tie it up. Teddy, your man, the Hammer, scores one of the greatest individual tries we've seen in a long time.
Oh. Yeah, that is the try of the season, and I don't care what happens in our try. This has been a great year for tries. The Xavier Coach try.
I was going to say, hang on, you've already given that award out 3 times this year.
I know. Guess what? It's been superseded every time. I love those length of field tries. Obviously, brilliant. But the fact he got it on the back foot, he wasn't running onto it. He had to go backwards. He was kind of half pacing around, and then just went bang and was just so elusive on the field, mate. And people were coming at him everywhere. I love the Hammer. He's probably surpassed the Pap. It's not the Pap's fault. He hasn't been playing it. Probably surpassed the Pap. Is my favourite player to watch. I could just go and watch the Hammer move all game. Like, even as a New South Wales fan, it was delightful watching him play the other night in the Origins. Yeah, great win for the Dolphins. Underrated. Not their top 14, and they're 8.5 dogs against the Sharks. I thought it was a silly price, but they just continue to tick over. Sharks will be disappointed at that start. Yeah, they're probably the better team for 50, 60 minutes of that game, but it was all over by then. So, unfortunately, I've backed too many horses like the Sharks who just come back from last and charge home and just fail to get there. Well, I did it again. So, but probably the game of the weekend for close to.
But that try, and Teddy's right. The beginning of the try and the end of the try are the two critical factors where he was going backwards, had to go backwards, come through. I think he just burst through Trindle, I think it was, initially. Then he put the afterburners on. And then when Kennedy was coming across, he slowed down just enough and then picked the pace up again just to get rid of Kennedy. Just a fantastic try.
The arrogance to throw Kennedy off at the end was just sort of like a shimmy whoosh, and it was
brilliant.
Very good. Next one I want to discuss. We discussed it last week. The Bunnies, they continue. They've won 3 straight now. Beat the Broncos. Got out to a 22-0 lead. Not sure the Bunnies are a team you want to be playing at the moment, Ted.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think they're too far back to make a finals charge. Like Newcastle last year, but they are absolutely not a team you want to be playing. Damien Cook finally back to his best. Latrell Mitchell has been absolutely unstoppable since that suspension, and more important, since Demetrio got resolved. Moving Kolomatang into the middle has been a masterstroke. But Ben Hornby's not getting any discussion of his Parramatta job or as kind of a serious head coaching candidate in the future. He has done a magnificent job with this team to get them all on the same page. They're playing good football. They're playing tough football. Yeah. They got their troops coming back. You don't want to be running into the Bunnies at the moment.
Anything on the Bunnies?
Oh, it's more the Broncos. I've been very disappointed in them over the last few weeks. And I know they're without Adam Reynolds, but they're making mistakes that top teams just don't make. And I think that it's just started to creep into their game over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Sure, the Bunnies did everything they needed to, and it all sort of revolves around Latrell Mitchell. But the fact they've got White in the halves along with Walker now, I think that's helped them out big time as well. And the forward pack has a much better balanced look to it, and that has allowed the likes of Damien Cook to start to get back to where he was a season or two ago. So, yeah, it's a couple of teams that seem to be on different opposing trajectories. The Rabbitohs are on the up slightly, and the Broncos, I think, are on the down slightly. And boy, oh boy, they'll hope Reece gets through State of Origin number 2 so that they can have him back straight away, because they do miss him. But it's just the fact that they're making so many mistakes. It's not a good sign, I don't think.
Ted, you said you think the Bunnies will fall, not a chance of making the 8. I actually went and I knew you'd say that. So I went and did my ladder predictor on NRL.com. And I've got them falling 1 game short into 9th.
Yeah, I think they're pretty close. Yeah, I've got them running pretty close too. They just have, I think, the Roosters and Panthers in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And they've got a period, I think, where they have Sharks and Storm, maybe, or Roosters and Storm, which they might get through both of those. Or they're both winnable games, but they're both losable. But yeah, I have them running pretty close. But yeah, I just think they're too far back now.
I've also got the Warriors up in the 5th, Dogs 6th.
Dogs are making the 8. I can tell you that right now. So, but I don't know about the Warriors.
Hey.
Oh, no.
No slander here.
No, I'm happy he's saying that. Remember what he said? 14-0 up, they went by 50. I'm quite happy for him to say they're not going to make it.
All right. Would you rather we actually, before we do this week's one, we talked last week. We tried to organise the kickoff. It's going to happen, folks. We just haven't done it this week, but we are going to do it. Okay.
10 shots in front, 30 metres out.
Yep. Paul and I are going to go do it.
Easy.
How are you flown over, Carl?
Give me the ball, boy.
We'll do it at half time of the Bulldogs last game.
That's an activation.
That is an activation. I'll tell you, before you get to this, I'll tell you a good story. I used to work for a betting company. There's activations, and anyway, there's a great rugby league story that's never been written about halftime entertainment gone wrong. Anyway, one of the activations was there would be those big balls that they would race. Anyway, they got those big balls. Anyway, bang, one fell out of the ball. The second half was delayed for like 45 minutes. The medicam had to be come onto the field. And this has happened more than once.
It's a very strict and tightly run process, the halftime activation. It
sure is.
On, get in, get out. Anyway, would you rather this week? Would you rather $1 million in the hand or 10 attempts to stop David Fafita from scoring a try 10 metres out for 10 million?
Give me the $1 million.
I'm taking the $1 million. This is now.
I thought you might say that. I'm going to take the $1 million too, because that's a terrifying prospect.
You could make a David Fafita on his knees with one hand tied behind his back and a blindfold on. I'll still take the $1 million.
So follow up, who in the NRL would you take on in this challenge?
Well,
there's only one answer for this. Tom Eisenhuth.
I don't think you're stopping Tom Eisenhuth 10 metres out.
I'm probably not. I reckon he's my best chance.
Give me Jaden Campbell, someone who's 70 kilos dripping wet.
Yeah, but he can step past you. Like, I'll give you a tip. I haven't got any lateral movement. Like, anyone who's going to step on him can get past me. Like, I think like Tom Eisenhuth is a fixed target. I can at least go up and get his grill.
Anyone you pick out?
No. There's no way.
No, there's no way. Because, here's a follow-up question. Am I allowed to give away a penalty while doing it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Because I can get some illegal behaviour going. Some illegal activities going on that might stop them.
Like this, to give you a bit more wingspan.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you come away with a couple of broken arms.
All right, we're all $1 million richer. Good stuff. The grid. If you're listening to the pod, pause it now and go and play Tuesday, the 18th of June. This is, of course, Wednesday, the 19th of June. But across the top.
Not an easy one. Not an easy grid.
No, I got a big score.
Me too.
One brain and a big score. Played for Queensland as a premiership winner and scored 4 tries in a game. Down the left, has played for Canberra, has played for the Panthers, has played for the Sharks. Teddy, your top row.
Queensland Raider Adam Mogg, 3.42. Premiership winner who's played for the Raiders, Ben Kennedy, 3.48. And scored 4 tries in the game for the Raiders. One of my absolute favourites. I knew he'd score big, but I took it anyway because I love the Colin Best Express, 12.41.
Nice. Paul, you want to
go? Clinton Shafkovsky, 6.05. Sean Berrigan, 5.55. Terry Campese, 8.35.
Oh, Terry Campese is one of my favourite rugby league players.
You have a great story about that game. He scored 36 points in that game against Penrith. And he had a shot next to the post that would have made 38 points, would have equaled Mal and for the second highest score of all time. And he just gave it to someone else. He didn't realise it was to equal the record, so he just gave it to someone else. He goes, I'm too tired after scoring the try. It wasn't like we're going to honour someone else. He was just like, I can't be bothered.
That's so good. Played for Queensland and the Raiders. Adam Mogg, 3.42. I've also got Sean Berrigan, 5.55. And 4 tries in a game, I could only think of Edric Lee, 12.04.
I could not, like, I've watched a lot of rugby league over the years. I have no memory of Sean Berrigan playing for Canberra. It's like a blind spot in my head. But I have no recollection of that.
Couple of years. Middle row, Ted.
Middle row, Queensland Panther Wizard 2.57. Craig Greenhill, one of the few players that get sent off in Origin. Premiership winner Panthers, a Brain Paul Fakavira 0.95. Oh, don't tell me you missed him. Yeah, for sure.
Favorite.
Oh, no.
And 4+ tries in the game for the Panthers. Charlie Staines, the Forbes Ferrari, 5.14. I can't believe you don't have Fakavira.
Oh, gee. Scott Sattler, 7.72. Joe Nullival, 1.68. Charlie Staines, 5.14. Oh,
Petro Sivanasiva, 16.47. That's tough. If you had to move Scotty Sattler, getting a phone call from the Warriors. We'll just put that away. We don't want to talk about that at the moment.
they probably heard what Teddy said.
Get this bloke off.
If you had to move Scotty Sattler across one block,
No, I don't
Paul,
wanna know.
Brain, 0.98.
Oh,
And 4 tries in a game, Penrith, Amos Roberts, 7.05. I just took an absolute stab there.
You did well.
Yeah. Bottom row.
Player for Queensland and the Sharks, Wizard 2.94. Chris McKenna. Premiership winner Shark Preston Campbell 2.35.
Oh.
And scored 4 tries in the game. A Shark, another one of Paul's favourites, Nigel Vungana 8.09.
I'm not as disappointed about that one. Celebrity Survivor contestant Matt Rogers, 6.95. Preston Campbell, 2.35. Colin Best, 9.18.
Also Matt Rogers, 6.95. Another one of my favourites. And one of our favourite punching bags, Jack Bird, 2.56. And also Colin Best, 9.18 to finish. Teddy, your score?
41.3.
53.
64.2.
Did you lose to Mawadi 2 weeks in a row now?
I don't know if it was 2 weeks in a row. I think it was 2 out of the last 3.
I think you're right, Teddy.
Petro got me. No good.
Petro is, some just know the answer you can't put. And it's like, I don't know what I'm going to put here, but I know I cannot put Petro. That cannot be my answer.
It wasn't the highest. I think it was the 20s was the highest, 20 something. So I don't know who that could be.
It would be a current Panther who plays for Queensland. No, Kurt Capel, I reckon, would be the highest.
Oh, yeah. All right. Moving on. Mawadi's hunch of the week. Mawadi, you're 2 from 2. What do you got for us this week?
Well, I don't know if it's worthy. And I don't like it either.
I don't know if it hits the brief, does it?
Yeah, it's a tenuous one. I don't want to ruin my 100% record either. Gee, I'm really.
Teddy, do you have a hunch?
I don't really do hunches, so I'm going to say no. I got woken up at about 5 o'clock this morning, so we can make that akin to a rooster waking me up and roosters, but no, I own a dog, so that kind of offsets it.
I like animals.
I'm more a facts and figures man. What is it, Paul? Spit it out.
Come on.
Well, I'm pretty sure I was going for a walk the other day and I saw some.
You do a lot of walking.
I said, I try. I'm sure I saw some dolphins in the harbour. just frolicking, playing, happy as can be. So I've got to go with the Dolphins to beat the Storm this weekend. Dolphins 265 head to head. I love the Dolphins. They've been playing really, really well. No hammer, but they do get another very, very entertaining player in Fuller to jump in and help out. But gee, the Storm have just been so good this season. But the hunch is the Dolphins.
I like it.
It's not bad. Not bad. Before I even said what it was, though, I knew it was going to be. And I know you're going to have to shorten this down for when we go live on SEN. I can tell you the first segment that's being eliminated is Hunch of the Week.
All right. Let's have a look at some games. We'll have a quick look at Origin, because when we record next week, it will be Origin Day. New South Wales $1.90, Queensland $1.90. Capewell in for Cobbo. Only change for Queensland, if I'm not mistaken. New South Wales. Edgeworth.
You are mistaken. Felice Kafusi comes in for Jermaine Hopgood.
Oh, sorry. New South Wales. Edwards back at fullback. Latrell into the centres. Moses into halfback. Cam Murray into lock. Connor Watson onto the bench. No burden, much to Teddy's both disgust and happiness, I'm guessing.
Yes, I think
yeah, absolutely nailed that.
And Barnett, 18th man. We'll start with Queensland. Ted, what do you like about Queensland?
Tell what I don't like about Queensland. Obviously, Queensland are good. I like the stability they've got on the side. But considering the narrative going to game one, that having a back on the bench is so important, and then that coming to fruition, and Cobbo having such a good game, I would love to know what Selwyn Cobbo did in camp to get dropped, because this has got nothing to do with form. I was really stunned by Cobbo's omission. I was stunned he wasn't replaced by on the back on the bench. That they didn't go with like an Ezra Mam or a Dane Gagai or someone like that. Like Gagai struck me as the perfect replacement who can play fullback, wing, centre. Like, I'm surprised by that. I'm really surprised.
Gagai's been named 18th man. Is there a chance we see Capewell go down hurt during the week?
Maybe, but you've got to. I absolutely hate this with the Origin sides. Like, once you're named in a position that should be death or serious injuries, Anthony should remove from the side. It's like, we're going to fake an injury with Kurt Capewell. So, like, Capewell's going to miss this week. So you can't just fake injuries around whether he's going to play or not. Like, that's ridiculous. So, about saying that wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
What do you like about Queensland?
Capewell's played in the centres for Queensland before.
He has.
He's covered for them. And I think that's the sort of road that Billy's heading down here.
It's a very Hudson Young road.
I think it's a step up from Hudson Young.
I agree, but it's not Cobbo.
No, it's not Cobbo, but yeah.
Didn't he debut in the centres for Queensland?
Yeah,
well, he used to, yeah. He used to play in the centres early on.
So Ruben Wiki, but you weren't putting him in the centres by the end of his career, were you?
Well, have you seen Ruben Wiki lately? You probably
put
would.
him in the centres right now.
Ruben Wiki's more cut now than he was at the end of his career.
Yes, he's like a bloody good bottle of Cabernet. He just gets better and better with age.
Shout out, Rose.
He does not age.
I had an idea which I pitched to the South Sydney CEO the other day, who liked it. Let's run a seniors tour, champions tour kind of thing of just like great players for their old teams. And I'd have to have the Warriors as strong favourites based on Ruben Wiki would be turning out for them, because Ruben Wiki running against like an old rotund Terry Lamb, that's going to be very dangerous. That's going to be Tom Eisenhuth running it to Tedeschi.
Ruben Wiki and Monty Beetham.
To be fair, Terry wasn't a Tabai Fidel. He wasn't that sort of shape, all right? Ever, even at his peak. He was a fair dinkum superstar. But yeah, Ruben Wickie's just one out of he is just a physical specimen.
Yes.
And I have no doubt he could slot back into that Warriors forward pack, and it would. Other forward packs would take notice. They wouldn't run at him. I'll give you the tip now.
We've lost the plot. Let's go back to Origin.
All right, Origin. I like what
Queensland?
Billy's done here. I don't know what's gone on behind the scenes, but I agree with Teddy. Something's not quite right with the Cobbo omission. So either I don't know, something's happened, or he's not 100%. And that might not just be physically.
Are you offering betting on that? Because something's happened is $1. And
it's the what's happened. That is the big question. But if you look at the squad as a whole, I think it's got good balance there. I'm happy with Capewell being the back replacement if needed. But it's pretty much, he's kept very, very close to what he had in that first State of Origin. I guess it's hard to tell how that game would have panned out if it was 13-on-13 for the entire game. So
Still be 1-0.
We'll find out a wee bit more this weekend. I guess there's more interest in the selection of the New South Wales team as opposed to the Queensland team for mine.
And with that, what are your thoughts on New South Wales, Ted?
I've got some views. I've got some pretty strong views on this one, to be honest.
Let's try and keep it tight.
Let's start with the good. Obviously, Edwards in for Tedesco deserved it from the injury. Latrell over the Union player / 7-minute Origin player. Obviously, a major positive. I think Moses had to come in for Hines, so no real issue there. With regards to the back line, I've got no idea why Luai was just assumed to continue playing that. He's obviously very good at club level. That Jack Rabbit style works well at club level, where he plays with these guys week in, week out. They know what he's doing. Just doesn't work. You need a kicking game in Origin. So how Matt Burton was overlooked for 5'8", I will know it. Like, great for Canterbury. I think absolutely moronic he wasn't there as either the 6 or the 14. Pat's a different issue. I have no idea why Jake Travojevic is continually named prop and captain. He picked 4 locks and 2 props. 4 hard-working locks. Hey, great camo is that. But Jake Travojevic has 10 tackle breaks over the last 3 seasons. The players he was picked ahead of. Stefano Wutukamanu, 59 tackle breaks this year. Tom Hazelton, 5 tries and 25 tackle breaks. Mitch Barnett hasn't had a game under 180 metres all year. Terrell May, 540-metre games, 31 tackle breaks, coming off the bench. Junior Barlow, 126-plus metres in all 6 games that Mitchell Moses has played. Makes 0 sense. But you cannot go into that. We have no go forward. Major issue. The other issue is, what are you doing with Connor Watson? Connor Watson is not a back. He's played a little bit in the halves. He's not going to cover anything if something happens to the outside back, which is a far bigger concern. And Reece Robson comes off an 80-minute game. I don't understand what you're going to do with him. You've just picked a whole team of hard-working guys again. You need to have some impact there. So the lack of kicking game and the lack of oomph is a bit of a concern point.
Paul?
Well, that's where Burton comes in, isn't it? If you're looking for a kicking game, I think if he had been matched up with Mitchell Moses, there's 2 of the biggest kickers in NRL. And if you're 13-on-13 for the full 80 minutes, then field position is huge. And if you can lock the opposition down, working out of their 10, most times than not, you're going a long, long way to putting yourself well into this game. So, I sort of agree with Teddy. I think the back line sort of picked itself. The outside backs sort of picked themselves. Latrell had to come back in. Edwards, obviously, he would have started game 1 if he hadn't picked up that injury. So that's fairly straightforward. But yeah, the pack does have just the look of a hard-working pack, but not a lot of sort of
Razzle.
Yeah.
What did you say? How many tackle breaks did you say Trbojevic had?
10 across the last 3 years.
Our man Tom, he's had 14 this year.
I mean, he's flying. Absolutely flying. So I don't get it. I don't get some of it. But I was questioning Spencer Leniu as a call in the first game, and I haven't put the hands up and was wrong on that one. Like, I thought he was outstanding in the game. And you just need a player or two more. Because like trying to jam, trying to figure out ways to replace Liam Martin with another edge back rower. Like, what's the point? They play any minutes. They work hard. Pick your two guys and fill your bench with a back and like impact forwards. Get a great 25 minutes out of someone. Get 2 great spells of 15 minutes out of someone. Like I've got nothing against Jake Trbojevic, but like you can't have Trbojevic, Murray, Isaiah Yeo, and Connor Watson on the same team. It just makes no sense.
Turns out you can.
Turns out you can, and also turns out I'm probably going to be on that team. So I will be on that team.
Any particular reason why?
Yeah, a lot of reasons why. Let's start with MCG. New South Wales 4-1 all time, 1 all 3 there this century. Sorry, all 2 there this century. Neutral grounds, 4-2. New South Wales. But most importantly for me, Game 2. Game 1 losers who play at home or a neutral venue since 2010, 7-1. And teams off a big loss. Teams off a loss of 24 or more in the last decade, 5-2. And Ashley Klein absolutely can manipulate this game to get into the other side. So all those 3 factors combined, I'll be on New South Wales game.
Is those stats against the line or straight up?
Straight up.
Okay, interesting. $1.90 a piece. Go have a look, punters. Anything else you want to get off your chest for Origin, or should we move on to this week's NRL action? Moving on. All right. First game, Dolphins, $2.65, Storm, $1.48. Paul's already declared the Dolphins. As you say, Trey Fuller in for the hammer. Bromwich is in. Tavita Pangai Jr. is back. Pappenhausen back for the Storm. Warbrick back, and Fatlonga moves to the wing. Teddy, what are the stats saying here?
Well, I don't have any stats for this, but I'm pretty sure any team with Tavita Pangai Jr. loses at a ridiculous rate. So that's big concern. If there's a good bet to have in the game, it's penalty conceded Tavita Pangai Jr. I'll take $1. I don't mind the Dolphins here. Having said all that. They're 9-5 against the spread in Queensland as an underdog of 4 or more. They're 10-4 against the spread of conceding 26+. So not a bad spot here. They're missing Hammer, Kafusi, Melbourne without Coates and Grant. Melbourne, they are great off a big score. So 17-9 against the spread of 26+. But teams on back-to-back interstate games cover it as 44%. Storm, they're 4-8 against the spread as an interstate favourite. And funnily enough, the Storm have a terrible recent record at night, 5-12 against the spread in their last 17 night games. So, leaning towards the Dolphins this one. A couple of good under angles there. I'm playing the under in this one. 63.7% when there is a home dog in the top 4. So, what's the dog in the top 4? And that goes to 66.7% when they're off a win. So, that goes back to 2008. So, pretty strong under angles, that one.
Just as you said, I'm loving the under here. I'm just pulling up 61 points or more at $4.60.
All yours.
I don't know. These guys can score points, and defense seems optional at times for both. Thoughts on your Dolphins, Paul?
If there's anyone who can get the best out of Tavita Pangai Jr., it's Wayne Bennett. So I'm not sure what sort of Tavita we're going to see turn up this weekend. But if Bennett has anything to do with it, I think we'll see him have a controlled game. Hey.
Was this like a Gronkowski situation where he's declared retirement because he doesn't want to play for a particular team,
Another
and then he
team.
comes back.
Yes, and also it was mutual because that team didn't want him to play for him. So we were very happy to punt him.
Okay.
Enjoy your boxing career, son. And also, if anyone saw his boxing career, took a little bit of a nosedive, potentially when he was completely flattened.
Hard to be a boxer when you're no good.
Yep.
Next one, Titans, $2.75. Warriors, $1.46 for feeder back for the Titans. RTS back for the Wars. He's in for Berry. Ed Cossey in for DWZ, who's been stood down. Well, not stood down. He's been banned. What's the word?
Suspended, I think, is the one you're after.
Suspended. Thank you.
He's been banned.
Banned by the NRL for this game. Walker into the back row. Tohu to lock. Laban and Ale come into the bench. Did some digging, and as I always do, like to manipulate my stats for Warriors. For our team, the away team has won 3 straight in this fixture.
Oh wow, we are desperate right now.
The Warriors won on the Gold Coast last year, 28-18. Having said that, Titans have won 4 of the last 5 and 6 of the last 10. But our Wars have won 18 of the last 30 going back to 2009. Teddy's loving these.
Great stats. These are great stats.
The interesting, 5 of the last 10 have been decided by 4 points or less. That's all I've got. What have you got? Some real stats to back?
I have no idea how the Warriors are favourites in this game. No idea at all. Like, it makes 0 sense. Of course, failed to mention that only 8 weeks ago, the Gold Coast went over to Mount Smart and won. Won 3 of the last 4 at Seabus. Underdogs hit cover at 60% when 2 bottom 9 teams play. Titans have covered 5 of their last 7 as a home underdog, 4 of the last 5 as a home dog of 4.5 or more. And some Warriors stats that will make you cringe. Covered just 41% in Australia the last 4 years, 36% in Australia off a loss the last 4 years, 10 and 20 against the spread of scoring 24 plus. I could not be more chips in max bet Titans this week. Plus, win 13 plus, however you want it.
There's one problem with those stats. You said when 2 bottom 9 teams play, the Warriors are not a bottom 9 team. They just happen to be in the bottom 9 at the
Well, I'm going to say over time that kind of stuff has been even down in it. So I'm going to say, oh wow,
Sure. As well, they were $1.46. The Wars about 10-15 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, $1.53 now.
53. Titans at $2.50.
How much did you put on?
Yeah.
a lot, and not that long ago either, just quietly. So the plus 6.5 I nabbed about, I'm saying an hour ago, and it is in the 4.5, and there is absolutely 0 chance this starts north of 4.
Is there?
If you like the Warriors, bet late because you'll get the best price on kickoff.
Is there some news that we're not sure about?
Someone out, someone in.
Well, the Fafita news coming back in was obviously big, but the number's just wrong.
Last hour.
No, the number's just wrong. So I know a lot of sharp punters are betting the Titans. I would say it's just a way to sharp money to bet on them. But
they're not sharp.
And the thing is, you guys obviously know this as well as I do, but the impact Mitch Boner has on that team is immense. It's work rate, it's impact, its ability to kind of bend the line. Like, his absence is huge. The loss of Capel means nothing. But the loss of Barnett means plenty. And funnily enough, like they've been, you would have thought when this match was scheduled, the feeder, Brimson, Botawaker possibly out, Warriors probably no one. Now the Warriors have 2 people missing, and the Titans only have Botawaker. So,
yeah. One, I did see. No, never mind. What do you think in this game, Paul?
I'm not factoring the Warriors into any of my betting.
You're a disgrace.
No, I'm leaving them out. But I do like them this weekend.
Thank you.
I do. Hooked up.
We ride together, we die together.
Right.
The Titans 13 plus is a massive runner this weekend. A big price on it.
Not a chance.
I had the Gold Coast as wooden spooners. And I think they had the battle of the spoon against the Tigers. So, although the Titans have improved, they are a true bottom team, and the Wars are not. And,
different with Dave's the federal team.
Oh, he makes a big difference to that team. Yes, big time. He can drift in and out of games, though.
Used to drifting out of games. This year, he's been in games. He starts.
Flaky at best.
Well, you don't want to hope so.
I will not be answering any texts from Nick Tedeschi this week. All right, next one. Roosters $1.36, Bulldogs $3.15. Plenty of Roosters out, but with the depth of their squad, it looks kind of largely unaffected. Dogs get to keep Burton, Addo-Carr's out. Kick-Out maybe back.
Not back.
Not back?
Was he? I don't think he was named in the extended squad, was he?
I thought he was.
Oh, hopefully. That'd be nice if he was. Stand by. He was.
How's the prep from the boys? There we go.
I usually don't bother going down to number 23 with the Bulldogs. Here's a tip. It's not usually very good.
Well, it might be this week. Roosters have won 8 of the last 10. Dogs have won 2 of the last 3. The last 4 in this fixture have been decided by 6 or less, and 9 of the last 12 have been decided by a single-digit margin. Roosters are 8.5-point favourites. Teddy, tell me why the Dogs are the bet.
Oh, Dogs are a great bet. They're 10.5 into 8.5. They've covered 4 straight against the Roosters. They've played them particularly well. Gosford is a huge issue for the Roosters. Since 2008, they're 4-11 against the spread at Gosford. Bulldogs covered 5 of 7 at the ground. Almost beat them there last year. The Roosters cover 40% off a win. And they're 20-31 against the spread against top 8 opposition. That's right, Canterbury Bankstown, top 8 opposition. Bulldogs covered 5 of 6 off a win. They've covered their last 3 against top 8 teams. I think the Dogs are a great bet here. I think they can win this off the stick. But the plus 8.5 is an outstanding bet.
Couldn't agree more. This is a different Dogs team. Cam's done a very, very good job this season. It looked like he remember at the beginning of the season, and they had picked up a whole lot of bits and pieces players. Well,
yep.
Players are starting to slot in there, and they're looking quite well. He's molded them together very, very nicely. Matt Burton being there is a huge plus for the Dogs.
Don't underestimate Connor Tracy at fullback and what he has done there. Since moving on from Taff and going to Connor Tracy, the Dogs are a different team.
Slippery.
Yep. I guess the big question is, whose skin is Reid Marnie going to get under this weekend?
Well, there's a few contenders.
Warrior Hargraves.
There's a few big boppers. What about Victor the Inspector? It's not like Victor to get fired up.
Yeah. That Roosters team, even though they got 4 or 5 guys out, it's still very good.
How have they underachieved so much with that team?
Sia Wong and Satili Tupanua still on the bench. Yeah.
Nice.
What about Brandon Smith?
Back?
Yeah, but he's not right.
Wow.
No,
I know what you mean.
Playing wise, he's half the player he used to be.
I don't think he's all that popular with his teammates, but I know he's not that popular with his teammates. So I think there's a disconnect there that is likely going to see him leave the club, if not next year, the year after, when his contract expires. But he's not, as they say at the Roosters, he's not a Roosters player. I think that's a problem with some of the senior leaders, and I think that goes in the way he plays. Like, he's not a selfish player, but he's always getting the ball, looking for option. How he gets out dummy half. Like, the half just want quick, clean ball, and that's not his go. Still, he's not a contender to get Reid Marnie to get under the skin off, despite this.
All right, Rabbitohs $1.46, Seagulls 2.75. Who is the bigger out, DCE or Latrell?
I like the Eagles plus the points here.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
What do the stats say, Ted?
Yeah, not a lot. Stats are really hard to get a lot of stats on because they were just so horrific. They failed to cover 17 games in a row, so there's just not a lot going on for them. They've not covered 11 straight as a favourite. About 14-9 against Perth, I'm seeing 12 or fewer. Manly, they've covered just 2 of the last 7 away from Brookie, 9 and 13 against Spread, scoring 30 plus. So I've got no strong views on the side. I think DC is a big route, mainly because Jai Gray replaces Latrell and Carl Lawton's playing halfback for Manly. So that's a concern. I do think they'll go to another option. I think Humphries might be in the extended squad there. But I do love the over in this game. This is a massive over game for me. 9-3, the over when these two play. 60.3% when the Souths are a favourite. 22-10 when Manly are off scoring 30 plus. So love plenty of points in this game.
Yeah, right. I think the way White and Walker and Cook are combining, that's a big plus for the Bunnies in this one. And there's a few.
And they play through the middle. I mean, the way they play through the middle, like I love how they try. Scored a couple of weeks ago when Cookie just made that break. I think Gareth George was just like, that's brilliant stuff. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. Last one, Tigers $2.40, Raiders $1.58. Galvin back for the Tigers. Adam Dewey might get a start or a run. He's been named in the extended side. Played 60-odd minutes New South Wales Cup last week. This game doesn't really interest me at all. But Teddy, what are the...
It's the only game on Sunday, so...
Surely you're not playing bingo in this game. You're lucky if you get one try.
The game's that bad. Paul might go and actually play literal bingo rather than watch the game. Very ordinary game. Good luck, punters. Canberra have won 8 straight, 6 of those by 8 plus. They've won 12 of the last 13. They won the last 3 at Campbelltown. Tigers have not scored more than 19 points in their last 8 games against them. Canberra, though, 4-17 against the spread as a favourite away from Canberra Stadium. I don't know how you can lay the points to them. 12-25 against the spread against teams outside the top 8. Tigers 0-10, 2-8 against the spread at Campbelltown, 3-6 against the spread for win. This is one of those games where I've got no idea what's happening. I'm just going to back the outsider and hope for the best.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on the Tigers again. Look, them having Api Coruscant available during State of Origin is just fantastic. I still don't know how he doesn't even get a shout. The return of Lachlan Galvin, I think, just gives that sort of halves pairing a wee bit more of a dynamic look. Campbelltown, there's a few things going the way of the Tigers here. Look, the Raiders, I think the Raiders have got the speed on the outside to score a few tries. I just think they're just going to get done up the middle a wee bit here. And I think Coruscant will lead the brigade as well. So I'm happy to take the Tigers at, 230, 235, and plus the points as well.
Nice. Wow. Let's get to some betting then. $100 each a week. I'll just check my phone to see if Blake or Surly have sent theirs in. And Blake has.
Wait.
I'm not surprised. Blake's a professional. Come on, Shirley.
Take note, Surly. Take note. Blake has got 2 plays here. Rabbits, Roosters, Warriors all win, $80 on. And the next one is a try-scoring multi. SJ, Dom Young, and AJ all to score $20 on. Simple. Surly, nothing yet. We might have to cut him. Might have to cut him loose.
Sorry, Sealy.
No, nothing. He did text me, but not about his bets. Teddy, what have you got?
Simple. One bet only. 2-leg multi. Gold Coast plus 4.5. Canterbury plus 8.5. $100 on 361.
We can do the preview, the review already. Teddy loses all $100.
Unlucky.
I'll cop that from you, Carl. I'm not going to cop from the bloke who's down 500.
What do you got?
It's a marathon, Teddy. It's where you are at the end of the season.
You're halfway through the season.
We've got past halfway, Paul.
2 bets for mine. $30 on a double. Bulldogs to win, Sea Eagles to win. That comes out at 866. And the other 70 on both those teams plus the points.
All right. I've got 3 plays. First one, $10 on the highest scoring game. Dolphins Melbourne, $7.
FYI, the only game we're betting the under on this week.
Well, we'll see. $20 on the Dogs plus into Khan Pereira and Montoya anytime at 6:32. And then $70 on Dolphins plus 12.5, Dogs plus 12.5, and Souths head-to-head at 3:38. Those are my 3 plays.
Not a lot of Warriors players in there.
Look, I made all the money this year by not betting Warriors on this podcast. I'll bet my own money on the Warriors.
You're a man of the people.
I am. Paul, promos.
Don't forget the oval ball mega multi. 4 legs you can miss by 1. 6 legs you can miss by 2. 8 legs or more you can miss by 3. That's up to $50. Once again, check out all the T's and C's at the TAB website. And the 3 or more legs same game multis bonus cash back. If 1 leg fails, up to $50. Friday to Sunday and 1 per day. But that one there. So yeah, it's plenty of opportunities there.
It's not a promo, but bingo will be back, I am sure. Keep an eye out.
I'm not getting on this weekend, so it probably cashes.
What do you mean you're not getting on?
Well, no, we're not for the show.
It's a prerequisite
Not for
to be
this
a
show.
part of the show. You have to play bingo each week. It's the funnest. Anyway, we're about 45 minutes over time here.
We don't have to do a show next week then. Just cut this one in half.
Ted, thank you very much for joining us yet again. Appreciate your wisdom, as always.
Pleasure as always. Yep, pleasure as always. Look forward to it. Go Titans.
Can't wait to come back next week, and just absolutely give it to you. Paul, well done. Thank you.
Yeah, another split round. Looking forward to it. I'm confident about the Waz this weekend. Very, very confident.
I couldn't have been any more confident last week. And to the punters, thank you for listening. We will see you here next week. Do it all again. Cheers.